When government gives you project or an NGO gives you project or an individual gives you project, it's born on you to ensure that that project is secured, that that project is maintained, that that project is safe. That is the reason for this sensitization.
It's not enough to build projects. These projects must be protected. These projects must be sustained.
Oh, yes.
It is for our own good, most especially for the good of the Ogwashuku people, for the good of the Obentiobi people.
I'm an advocate for progress and success. Yeah. So in all I do, I bring a touch of excellence. So I don't just live life. I try to make an impact in every area of my life, be it my career, my passion, whatever I do. So that's Dr. Mercy Udeh.
So this has always been naturally who you are for your person.
Yes.
Okay. So you're speaking to us from Manchester. What are you doing in Manchester?
Yes, okay. My partner lives in Manchester, so I'm married. My partner lives in Manchester, so I'm always in Manchester. When I'm not at work, I'm in Manchester.
So you're on vacation right now?
Sort of.
Right. All right. So I'm going to start with us. Before I get to this, let's get to know about Mercy Udeh Foundation. How did you start? Where did it all start from?
Okay, so there's a backstory to the foundation. First of all, I'm actually a Rotarian. I don't know if you know about Rotary.
Yeah.
So I'm a Rotarian. Yeah, so I'm a PHF, Paul Harris Fellow. If you know what Paul Harris Fellow is, yes. I'm a Paul Harris Fellow. I'm a Rotarian. I'm a Paul Harris Fellow. Okay. So you know what Rotary do. We are passionate about our environment. We bring change using our skills and our careers to bring change to our immediate environment. That's what Rotary do. Yes. Yeah. So because I'm a Rotarian, outside being a Rotarian, I'm always passionate about my environment. When I mean my environment, I don't believe one should be the only successful person in an environment. I believe that everyone around you should feel the same impact. So if you're living a good life in your environment, I believe that every other person around you, even if they are not your social equal, they should still feel the impact of living in a good environment. When I mean living in a good environment, at least have the basic amenities. That drove me to joining Rotary, because I felt like, okay, this is an organization whereby I can contribute my own quota using my talent and my career to contribute to my immediate environment. So I joined Rotary. In 2022, my birthday 2022, I felt like, okay, it was my birthday. Usual way, I'll probably travel with my partner or be around friends, get gifts and all that. And I said, this year is going to be different. That I didn't want any party that would be about me. I wanted something that would be about people that are not of the same, that are not benefiting, that don't have the same opportunities as I have. I told everyone around me, see, instead of buying me Hemi's bag or anything, don't buy me any gifts. I want to do something for my community. So I'm actually from Delta State, Ogwashuku in Delta State. I don't know if you know so much about Ogwashuku. So my village is located, our topographical location is in a place whereby we don't have easy access to water. I don't know if you know that there are some communities in Nigeria that just the way you can just dig your wells and get water in how many meters. My community is located in a place whereby you go meters and meters and you still don't get water. So
Wow.
yes, because of their topographical location, is a challenge there. Funny enough, communities around us, they have access to water, but we, because of where we are located, we don't have boreholes. It was
Wow.
difficult to get borehole. Yes, people don't know this. So I was like, you know what? Growing up as a child, I knew that when each time I go to the village, I wonder why they in Port Harcourt, where I I live with my parents. Everything we had access to water inside our houses. So when we go to the village, we are they're either fetching water from wells. And you know the kind of well, those wells that they dig and cement, then buy water and fill.
Okay.
Yes, those are the kind of wells they use in. So as a child, I used to always wonder why is it like this? In Port Harcourt, we didn't even know. We just know that there's a tank where water comes from. We didn't have issues with water. So I was always asking that question as a child, that why is it like this? I kept on telling myself that one day, I kept on saying one day when I have the money, I'll do this
Do something for
I'll do
them.
this for my community. So that particular bed, I said, okay, that if I continue to wait for the day I'll have this finance, I will never do this
Get it,
project.
yeah.
I'll never get it. So I told my husband that I don't want to beg the please. I shouldn't do anything, that please let's. And he was just laughing. He looked at me, he said, is this what you want? I said, yes. So I had a party. Instead of a party, it was like a fundraising ball. So I gathered my friends, gathered family members, gathered everybody, and I told a story of my community. People were shocked. People didn't know there were communities that were going through that. People were shocked. We're like, wow, where is this? I'm like, this is my village. Where, your village? I'm like, yeah. And from there, people donated. People contributed. I was so surprised that people could give towards a cause like that.
Mm.
Yeah, at that time, I didn't have a personal foundation. All I
Okay, so
had was
then your foundation was not even registered.
I didn't have a foundation.
Wow.
I didn't have a foundation. It was more like a pet project. But the passion in which I used to drive, I said challenge, I said water challenge, I had people carry buckets on their head just to talk about it, for people to know about the situation and people to contribute towards the cause. I started the challenge. People were excited, be like, oh, what's this comment? I'm like, okay, yeah. I got the amount I could get, and I started in fact, at the time I started that project, I didn't have the complete capital. So I started a solar borehole. You know the solar borehole? That project cost me more than at least 35 million naira as at that time I did that project.
My
Yes.
God,
As
35
an
million
individual.
naira.
Yes, as an individual.
Wow.
That
And
project
you
cost
were
me.
able to raise that?
Yes, I was able to raise that. So the passion in which I was using to drive that, it was a pet project, but the people saw the passion. People, if you talk to me before you say two lines, I've told you, please, have you contributed towards this cause? Do you know about Ogashuku? So it was just, people made jokes about it, but they were contributing.
How long did it take you to raise that amount of money?
Okay, so my birthday was in November. My birthday was in November. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my birthday was in November 2022.
All right.
I started the fundraising on 13th of November 2022. On 13th of December, yes, on 13th of November 2022, people started contributing. I started the foundation in that same November. On 25th before 25th, I think it was 23rd of December, we were done with the project.
Wow.
That same year, 2022, yes. I started raising the funds from 13th of November.
Wow.
Before 23rd December, I told them that I want these people to celebrate Christmas having borehole in their
Water.
community.
Wow.
Yes. I had sleepless nights. I was calling people, please. My husband was just watching me. He said, this is the first time he's seen me being so passionate about something. And I will call the engineers. I say, if this project doesn't finish, I want this project before December 25th. So he just
So that was the beginning of Mercy
that was the
Udeh
beginning of
Foundation.
do you know what he did? He gifted me the foundation. He registered it.
The foundation.
He said you are born for this. He said you are born for this. That if you can, in a space of 2 months, you drove this project. That you can't, there's no mountain you can't move, that you're born for this, that do it.
Wow, that's extraordinary.
That was how the foundation started. That was how we kicked off. From there, we started doing other small projects in the community and all that. Yeah.
Wow. In that village where you did that thing, did they give you any chieftaincy title?
Let's not go too far. That was the start. That was the beginning of change in that community.
Wow.
That particular project, not only in the community, that project changed my life. I learned a lot from that project. So when you talk about sustainability,
yes,
I just laughed because it was easy for me to relate. So from
relate with,
2022, 2023, I was just laughing. I said it was easy for me to relate. So even after the project finished, I know we had challenge. We didn't like we didn't have challenges. We had challenges. We had really, really, really good challenges that taught me how to hold forth. That no matter what you're doing, you have a goal. Other people might not see your vision, but you have the vision. You can only you can drive your vision. Someone else cannot. You can't share your vision and expect someone else to drive it. You only tell them, and they join the cause. You can't force people to join your vision.
That's very true.
So it was easy for me to relate and say, oh, sustainability is the topic I like to talk about.
Okay, so let's dive straight into this topic. A lot of projects, ongoing projects here and there for communities, but sustaining these projects is a big challenge. What's the challenge?
Okay, first challenge. I always tell people it is the first challenge you will have when doing a project or after executing the project is ownership. It could be water, it could be road, it could be clean environment. Yes, and making it last. It's not about, oh, you go to a community, after 2 weeks you run off. Or after 2 weeks, you leave and you come back in 1 month. Whatever you've done, it's like nothing ever happened in that community. Sustainability simply means you go to a place, you make a change, a positive change, and you come back in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. In fact, whatever you've put there is even better. But the challenges a lot of communities have is ownership. Let me give you an example. It's just like me buying you a car. And I tell you, oh, I've gifted you. You didn't know I was giving you a car. I just gifted you a car. You do not have fuel to run the car. You don't have a driver's license.
Nothing at all.
You don't have anything. You just find yourself owning a car. You do not know how to drive a car, and you're stuck with the car. So two things will happen. It's either you own the car and say, oh, this car is finally mine, and decide to learn how to drive, source for how to get fuel to move the car, and always wash and maintain the car. Or you will call your friends that can drive and say, oh, please, they bought me car, come and drive. Oh. Those your friends, because it is not their own, they will ruin that car. In another 6 months, you come back, either that car has had an accident or something must have happened to the car. This is the most simple example I can give. That's what happens in a lot of communities. When you give them projects, most times they can't run it. They don't even know what to do with it. For example, the first water project I did, after I left, they wanted it. Yes, it was luxury for them because they were used to going to, they didn't have taps to fetch from. They were used to people buy water and put it away, and they go there to fetch, to buy from the well. They buy from the well and they buy at outrageous prices. You can imagine someone buying 20 liters of water, 20 liters of water, that yellow keg or something. They're buying it for 150, 200.
On daily basis.
On daily basis. So it's either you will not have to shower, you sacrifice having your bath some days, you will buy those water to either cook. So how much do these people earn? And how many gallons of water can they buy in a day? So those were the questions that were running through my mind when I was doing that project. So when I brought the project, they were excited. They were like, oh, free. They were fetching water for free. Did not ask themselves question that this project that is here is a mechanical a mechanic, this whatever is driving it is
It's
mechanical.
mechanical and needs maintenance.
And it needs maintenance, or definitely to break down.
Mm.
They didn't ask themselves that question. But
Mm.
because I wasn't really on ground, I was always at work. And now I work with my husband and all that. So I didn't really do a follow-up on the project. So I just allowed them. I really wanted to see how they were going to own the project. Because they were using it at some point. I think something happened. The project, the water stopped. They started calling me. I said sustainability. I said,
Wow.
first of all, I don't live in that community. I do not use that project. So how come a whole community of over how many people, men, women, children, are calling someone that is a gift? It's not my own. I'm not benefiting. In fact, I do not have any family member that lives in my village now that will say, oh, I did it because of my grandmother or my grandfather that is benefiting from that borehole. I can tell you that none of my immediate family member that bear the same surname with my parents are benefiting from that project. So it wasn't like I did it because I wanted to do for family or something. No. So how can't you guys? That was how I stepped in. That was my that was the first thing I realized, that these people, they have not still owned the project. They still see the project as my project. Because it's my project. So when it spoils, they will call me. Because if they had owned the project and said, oh, this person has done this for us, now it's I don't have access to the entrance of the borehole. I gave them the key to the village chiefs. I said, this is so. How are you people calling me? That was the first challenge I realized. I said, okay, number one, I called the meeting. They have a tactical committee. I told them, this doesn't tell well of the leadership and the elders. This doesn't tell well. It means that if me, I'm an individual, it means that the same thing, if government brings something, people are saying government is not doing. So if the government actually brings a development to this community, this is the same way you guys are going to treat the projects. That is exactly, it will even be worse because the government, probably the government is not there. But me, I know once in a while I call and say, oh, how far is this thing running? Are you guys doing? And they give me feedback. Yes, people could not own these projects. And I said, do you know what I had to go back to do? I said, educating them and telling them, see, this project is not my own. I don't live here. I can decide not to pick people's score. What will people do? You guys go back to the old ways. They say, no. That was how they stay running around. Stay owning project. Yeah, so that is the major challenge. The other challenges could be finance for sustainability, probably like I said, how to come together to raise funds to repair if there's any damage. Those are little, because first of all, if you own your projects, those other challenges won't be an issue. It's just like owning a car. If you know you're the owner of the car, if your car breaks down, it's either you don't use the car or you look for a way to fix it.
That's true.
So the other challenges that comes with sustainability, for me, I think they are trivial. They are not things to the major challenge owning projects.
Wow. So this strategy right now also goes out to, government out there. So it's not enough for them to just create projects.
I'll explain. I will go further in explaining the government side of it. I'll go further. So I'll go further and explain. So after I did this project, I did it. So in my village, we have about 16 villages. I did this particular borehole in my immediate village, so we have about 16 other villages. So, but there are small communities in Ogwashuku. So in my own village, I did this project. So when I did this, people were coming, there was so much pressure from other communities. People were, oh, this person has done this. So other people were coming from their own villages to come and tap from there. So they were putting so much pressure on the system. So it was always breaking. So I told them, this is for you people, the people of Ogbensi. So you people need to own it and protect it. Protection is another thing. People need to own it and you cannot stay here. In fact, one time they stole one of the solars. I don't know how someone entered or something and stole one of the called me. Oh, they've stolen one of the. So I said, because you guys did not protect your projects. So they started learning how to protect their project too. They started taking turns, locking the place carefully and all that. I realized these other communities, they needed the same similar projects. But the amount I used to do that project was a lot. I didn't see myself going back to go and meet the same people I had collected
Money
and
from.
solicited funds. It would be like, this person, is it like we've given you before for this same thing? Which other people are you talking about again? So I just told myself that, you know what, it's time to go. It's time to advocate for these people. So I left thinking of executing another project to advocacy. I understand. I said, okay, you know what? These people, they are from Niger Delta. They deserve the same opportunities other Niger Delta communities. You should know of the Niger Delta, the solar street light projects,
Yeah.
the solar borehole that the Niger
Yeah.
Delta governments they are doing. I said, since our leaders in our community, they are not looking at these things, maybe I can just put in a word or two. I started talking to people and showing them what I did. I said, see, this was too much. I couldn't, and it's even a small borehole, but here the pressure on it is too much. This community needs this community that. As God may have it, you know, when you have links that you didn't really you didn't really look at them as links. You know people that could effect those change, but because you did not have an immediate need to reach out to them, so you didn't reach out. So I had people that had the ears of the government. So I started reaching out and telling them, showing them. They said, why are you doing this thing by yourself? Why are you? They could send them to the community. Wow. So is this possible? They're like, yes. Also, a couple of my husband's friends, they stay sourcing for getting contracts and to the community need. They stay with I said we need more boreholes in the community. Now, as we speak, about 3 boreholes of 20,000 gallons are going on in the community. I wish I have them on my CD. I don't have them on my CD. They're on my phone.
Wow.
Those projects, they are ongoing now. The projects are ongoing now. The same, I said, okay, the same community, they need road, they need lights. And so far, my immediate community, they have solar lights, street lights, the night lights. They have the solar, they are doing a bigger capacity of water, 20,000 gallon. Yeah.
20,000.
Solar, yes.
Wow.
10,000 gallons of solar borehole. So it's going on simultaneously in my own communities to support the small one I did. Then in 2 other communities, my aim now is to make sure every community, the 16 communities, have the same privilege.
Wow.
If I can do that, once I do that and feel, I'm like, I'll be so happy.
So, but how's that been unfolding? Has that been the response? Has it been good?
The response has been good, but because of the experience I had with the first
one, yeah.
That's why they say there's this adage that says start small. Start small. So you learn your lessons from the small one. So every lesson I learned, I took out lessons from the pet project done by Mercy Udeh Foundation. I took out those lessons and I'm using them to run these other projects. I'm not the one executing the projects. Contractors are coming in, but I work with them and I'm advocating. I'm still advocating for the community and saying we need more of these things. Not just that we need more, because 2 weeks ago we went to the community. We talked to them on sustainability of these projects. This was the exact topic we discussed.
Wow.
Yes, I have pictures. I could share them. You could use them. We could talk about them.
Yes.
I have pictures. I have videos. We went into the community and told the community, it is not that now the government is bringing this. It's not enough for the government to bring it. You as a community, you have a role to play. And what roles do you have to play? Ownership. The first role you have to play, ownership. The second role you have to play, protect it. protect it like your life depends. It's water, because your life actually depends on it. Protect it like your life depends on it. The government will come, do their bit and go. But if you do not manage these things, in another 3 years, 5 years, these things won't be here again, and you go back to square one. So the idea of so we are doing a lot of sensitization now. So we touched 3 different communities out of the 16 communities. The three different communities that the water projects are going on simultaneously. We've already gone ahead to sensitize them even before the water starts running. So we've already set up like a committee. So I'm encouraging them to set up a 6-man committee that will be in charge of the projects and sustaining it. So each community would devise their own needs. I won't tell them how to run their bits. They will set up a community. I will only guide them on how do you manage these projects. For example, now, and remember that the projects, the 20,000 gallons of projects of water is going to have reticulation. So they are not only going to be fetching from one tap, like the one I did was one tap, one stand that had multiple mouths. Is going to be cut across different parts of the community.
Wow.
So they will have taps. So if you come out from in this neighborhood, you have a tap. In this neighborhood, so they don't have to go to a particular point. Everybody from the community don't have to go to a part. So they have over 50 points, 50 points in different locations in the community. So they will be having challenges. Sometimes most of those taps will get bad. It will get broken. So I've encouraged them to devise a means on how to report those situations. So if there's a damage somewhere or there's a break in pipe, they need to know who to report to. They need to know because the government will do it. Most of these energy projects, the contractor just come to site, do their job and go. They go. They don't do their job and go. They don't tell the community, oh, this is what happens. But you have to know. You have to give us people to train. As the project is going on, there are people that are actually working, the community members, not outsiders, working on that project with the engineers and seeing what they are doing and making sure they are learning small skills.
I mean, your community really needs you more than even the governor of that community, to be honest with you.
They are beginning to realize that.
They need you. And there are people in diaspora that would see this content and be like, okay, so, wow, this is great. We can do more then. We can do more because you're not only bringing, the projects to that community. You are actually bringing the maintenance culture, which is very, very important. Teaching them how to maintain, protect the project and owning it. So that is really very crucial, So people in diaspora right now, people are watching and saying, okay, how can we get involved? Most people don't even know about who you are, what you're doing. Okay. Do you understand? That is the essence of this platform. So how can people in your community right now that are even in diaspora get involved in this project?
Okay, how they can get involved is by outside contribution, by encouraging for example, people in my community now, when I have sensitizations, when I organize sensitizations, we usually have a huge turnout. We could get more numbers. So, for example, communities, when you're going for sensitization, don't just go empty-handed. You got, like you say, somebody that is hungry, telling them, come and listen. Some people won't come out. They won't be. Even when it's benefiting them, they expect. So we try to make our sensitizations fun. We do games. We'll do all this. We'll do a lot of things to bring people out. So it's when they come out, they listen and they are able to act. You understand? So you first of all, the first thing is getting people to come out. And how do you get people to come out? By enticing them to come out.
And how do you entice them to come out?
We do a lot of games. So most times, like this, about the sensitization, we have this spin the wheel.
Okay.
We have spin the wheel. Some of them, they win cash, they win buckets, flags, cups, all those things. So when these people, they hear, oh, I want this in this sensitization, their friends, all of them will come out and be like, oh, let's go and hear what they are saying. And once they come, once they come out, they see that, okay, we are not just saying rubbish. We are talking about things that are affecting them directly. and they want to participate. In fact, we have advocates now in the community that they say, oh, give us your shirts. We'll be talking about it. We'll be telling people, do this, do that. Don't throw trash here. I do environment, I do sanitation. Yeah. So don't throw trash here. Don't do this. So people are beginning to join the movement. A lot of people are joining, even people in diaspora. Some of them can't reach me, so they call my mom. They'll be like, oh, I heard your daughter is doing this. God bless her. I said, how do you participate? Is you have people in your you have old ones, or you have family members that back there in that same village. Talk to them and tell them to come out and make themselves available to be in these committees, to participate and make sure their immediate environment is well kept and they are benefiting from these projects. So we have people that still, if in our sensitizations, we get funds. So people sending money to support. So when they send in money like that, like, oh, we're buying school bags, students, parents, books, all those things, to bring them out to come and listen to all these conversations we are having about sustainability. Some parents, when they come, they get bags, they get things for their children. They even come with their children, because even the children need to participate, because sometimes you see kids, they go to the tap and play. They go there and play. They don't know that it's money they used to do this, but so they go there to play. So these are the small ways for now we used to bring people out, and it's finance we used to do all those things. So I always encourage people. Yes, not that the government is doing. The government cannot do all for us. We are looking at still going into healthcare too. The primary healthcare in my community is zero. It is zero. So we are still looking at.
Mercy, sorry to cut you short. I'm looking at your page right now, and I really can't see any cry for help. With the gravity of what you're doing in that community, I think there should be more cry for help, for people to support, come in. You should do more of that on your page, because this is actually your page is not really showing it.
Yes, I'm actually very poor with even my personal page. Yes. I'm poor with media. I'm so busy that I'm poor with media. But we got someone in that light to help us send out the messages. So we have videos. We have a lot of videos putting them out. We've not put a lot of things out. So we are still working on that.
Yes.
Don't worry. You still see a lot of that on our page.
Please, your page needs to show more of that, so that people can see what you've.
Oh, thank you.
I know it's one community at a time, but are you just focused on Delta, your community alone for now?
For now, yes, I'm just focused there. So, but I have intentions of moving to other communities.
Okay.
They say charity begins at home.
That's true.
Yes. So there's a whole lot of work to do there. So I'm still calling on individuals, well-meaning citizens, both home and abroad. They can still contribute towards this cause. If the government is individuals people are doing, that's what we need. We can't always sit back and wait for the government.
Yes. So what sort of collaboration now are you seeking for? Because looking at your project, to be honest, it's huge. What sort of collaboration right now are you seeking for?
So I look forward to collaborating with the government, because they have the funds to put in a whole lot of money. So they see the idea, they know that you know what you want to do, and they bring the funds. So I'm looking at collaborating mostly with the government, then individuals. There are a lot of individuals that are looking for ways to execute these projects like this, but they don't know how to go about it.
You don't have a platform like yours.
They don't have a platform like mine, and they don't know how to also gather engineers, especially people that are abroad. Some of them don't know the local workforce that can execute these things. So they can collaborate with the foundation and say, okay, you know what, my own community is going through the same challenge, or we have similar challenge. How do we work together to I want to do this for my community, but I don't know how to go about it. How I can provide advice, give them engineers, send people to do like feasibility studies and say, okay, this is what you need, this is what you don't need, do this. Advice.
Wow, that's huge. That's huge. That's huge. I mean, for someone who, instead of receiving gifts, decided that she would rather have the funds going to projects in her community. I think that's big. That's love. That's commitment and dedication. So I don't see any reason why we can't rally around what you're doing to even empower you to doing more, to be honest. And the good thing is you're not just taking the project to this community, you are also educating them on maintenance, which is very, very, very important. I mean, you sound really very robust in your experience, like you know so much about, handling these
Yes,
people and their
handling
projects.
people.
Yes,
Yes.
and don't give up. Don't give up. Please, don't give up. Don't give up.
We've already gone too far to
Too
give
far
up. Even
to...
if I want to give up at this point, that
Yeah,
community will not allow me to give up. They will call, they will reach out. Like, oh, how do we do this? How do we do that? So I'm
yeah,
happy to always speak to them and help them in ways that
that's good. That's good. So, thank you so much, Mercy, for joining
that's
me.
fine.